Good morning, it's Derek Chamblee, broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta, the next great American city, Battleground Zero, the epicenter of the 2017 civil defense of the United States of America. It's been raining a little bit a few minutes ago here in Chamblee, Atlanta. It's winding up on high noon, July 24th, 2017. Following the news, breaking news today, Trump had Alexander the Great, the Gordian knot, Afghanistan. In the breaking news, we're following an article, breaking in Politico, written by Susan B. Glasser, and we'll start at the top. Oh my. Headline, the Trump White House's war within. Subheadline, his national security team wants a stepped-up fight in Afghanistan. There's just one problem. A president who doesn't want to be there. Start from the top. Last week, President Trump's senior cabinet officials and top national security advisors met for a contentious meeting to finally agree on a new strategy for America's longest war. After months of wrangling, they would ask Trump for a modest troop increase and more intense commitment to the seemingly endless struggle in Afghanistan. But the session of the National Security Council Principals Committee, described by two sources, briefed on it as a bad word, shell, S-word, I don't know, 4 letters, that featured what a third source, a senior White House official, confirmed was a heated debate where, quote, words were exchanged, unquote, proved no more successful than months' worth of previous Afghan policy debates. Trump refused to sign off on a plan they approved, the sources said. Instead of sending it back to his national security team, demanding more work, and on Tuesday, the president made clear just how dissatisfied he was. And in what were pretty much his first public comments on Afghanistan during his 6 months in office, he told reporters before a White House lunch, quote, I want to find out why we've been there for 17 years, unquote. Oh my. It's a lengthy article. Recommended reading, Politico, the war within the White House. Anyway, that pretty much sums it up. The quote of our current president, Donald Trump, and there's some figure here as to how much money is being spent fighting the war, continuing the 17-year war in Afghanistan. Looking for it here. Anyway, lengthy article. Let's pick it up a little bit closer down to the end. Oh my, it's just a mess. And we know that, well, they're accusing in the article, they bring up the military accusing the Obama administration, former President Obama, of micromanaging the war. And of course, he, at one time, the first year, had 100,000 people in there, 100,000 troops on the ground, and slowly but surely reduced the level of troops there. Now, basically, our current president has allowed the top generals to, this McMaster, to at least send roughly 3,500 troops on the ground in there. Well, but we've got in this article, very interesting, picking it up, gee whiz. Anyway, to close observers of the machinations of Trump world, it's yet another indication that McMaster, a 3-star general, widely hailed as a brilliant choice when Trump picked him to replace the ousted Michael Flynn amid the escalating Russian scandal. It is increasingly a national security advisor out of sync with his mercurial president. On key policy issues from Russia and NATO to the Iran deal, McMaster has recommended a more stay-the-course approach, only to find fierce pushback from Trump himself. Yeah, right. The fight over what to do in Afghanistan has received far less attention than any of those controversies, but the months-long backstage battle suggests the same immovable object for McMaster on this as the other issues, a president who simply isn't on board. Okay, so we continue in the Politico article. Okay, here it is. The Afghanistan story is also a tale of the increasing dismemberment and disempowerment of the State Department under Trump and Tillerson, a story laid out for the first time publicly in an exclusive interview for this week's Global Politico podcast with Laurel Miller, who was, until a couple of weeks ago, America's top diplomat charged with dealing with Afghanistan and Pakistan. Miller confirms in the interview that the State Department did, in fact, shut down the Office of the Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan, known as SRAP, without telling anyone, including the staff, when her contract as its acting leader ended at the end of June. She portrays the move to fold the office back into the state regional South Asia Bureau as part of a general downgrading of Afghanistan, despite the more than, here it is, $25 billion the United States spends annually there on the war. $25 billion. And you can't really blame our current president, Donald Trump, for saying, where's the money going? What are we doing here? That kind of thing. Anyway, we'll continue. Quote, I think it's unquestionable that the current administration prefers not to prioritize Afghanistan, she tells me. Quote, it's not been a subject of public discussion. The SRAP office was closed down. The Secretary of State has not yet traveled to the region. Now, Ms. Miller goes on. Miller, who served in the Afghan office since 2013 and as its acting director since last year, has now returned to the RAND Corporation think tank, is strikingly honest about how both the Obama and Trump administrations face, quote, no good options, unquote, for getting out of a war no one thinks can be ended on the battlefield, but whose, quote, chronically precarious, unquote, pro-American government under President Ashraf Ghani would likely fall in the absence of U.S. support, like Vietnam, Saigon. Anyway, hawks like Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona, until his recent health troubles, have been urging the administration to commit to seeking an outright victory in Afghanistan. Oh my. But Miller says it's simply not doable. Quote, I don't think there's any serious analysis of the situation in Afghanistan who believes that the war is winnable. It's possible to prevent the defeat of the Afghan government and prevent military victory by the Taliban, but this is not a war that's going to be won, certainly not in any time horizon that's relevant to political decision-making in Washington, unquote, Miller says. Oh my, and it goes on to the end, and it's really very interesting, the comments of Miller. We want to go all the way to the end. We've summarized. Okay, a subtitle, where will it end? And the thing is here, at the very end here, at our first meeting with the Afghan hands from across the U.S. government, the session opened with a simple question, quote, the discussion started, quote, subquote, what exactly are our vital national interests in Afghanistan, unquote, she recalls, quote, and I thought to myself, as someone was coming in from the outside, from a think tank, subquote, I assumed they knew that by 2013, Okay, unquotes. I was shocked. I thought, subquote, how can these people be sitting around the table asking what are our vital national interests in Afghanistan? It's 2013, unquote. Then Miller laughed. Here we are in 2017, she says, and we're asking that question again. And this is why we're saying Trump path, Alexander the Great. Oh my, and when Alexander the Great went a-conquering, he came to us a city in present-day Turkey called Gordia, and they presented him with what they called the Gordian knot, and they said anyone that can unravel this knot will go on to conquer Asia and Africa, and go on to conquer Asia, and Alexander the Great considered this Gordian knot. It was like a Rubik's cube. He turned it over and over, and finally he lost patience, and he took out his sword, and he cut the Gordian knot, and arguably Alexander the Great went on to conquer both Asia and Africa, being made a pharaoh in Egypt at the age of 25 and naming many cities in Asia and Africa Alexandria. But when he got to the precipice, of present-day Afghanistan, the reports were that he knelt down and cried because he realized there was nothing left to conquer. Oh my, and Alexander the Great never made it back. He never made it back. He got as far as Babylon and died of something at the age of 33. Nobody knows what. But Alexander the Great never made it back to Macedonia and never made it back to Greece. And we like to say what stopped Alexander the Great was the knot, the Gordian knot. It's a Gordian knot that our current president, Donald Trump, faces in Afghanistan. Oh my, the war's been raging since the Soviet Union invaded it in 1979. And in a 10-year war, the Soviet Union was bankrupt and they crumbled. And that's what we've got now with the current Russia. And there are interests of Russia and China and India and Pakistan there because China's building a road through the Silk Road there. They're building a highway through all the way to Europe. Oh my, so there are bigger issues here than the Silk Road. There's no there. Alexander the Great knew it. Alexander the Great knew it. And so does our current president, Donald Trump. This is Derek Chamblee, CyberCitizen Network, CYRADYO, Chamblee, Atlanta. It's a beautiful afternoon now. It's clearing up. Oh my, high noon, July 24th, 2017. Alexander the Great, the Gordian knot. Thank you very much.